We are back here at the MMC Studios in Cologne, Germany for the major at ESL One Cologne 2015. And it looks like the map veto should be getting under right away between NaVi and Titan. So thanks so much for holding tight, ladies and gentlemen at home. If you're watching, of course, don't forget also if you haven't gotten your tickets yet, but you want to visit us at the Lanxess Arena over the weekend for the playoffs. I believe we still have just a couple tickets left. So go ahead and get those and make sure you can watch the teams play live in that stadium over the weekend. And you can watch us live too. It'll be fantastic. You can see these beautiful gentlemen live at the Lanxess Arena. Who wouldn't want that? That's all part of the major, right? It's going to be a beautiful moment. You guys don't seem to agree with the compliments I'm throwing you guys. I mean, you just like, I'm like trying to make you guys look good, and you're saying, no, really, you shouldn't come to watch us. No.
I keep trying to replay what it's going to be like in my head, because Katowice was incredible, and this is going to be even bigger. So I can't even really imagine.
It should be epic.
But what's even better is it's just going to be CS. Only CS fans, pure CS
That's the other
fans.
thing, right? Yeah, it's just CS, full of CS, 10,000 CS fans in a stadium cheering for CS. Like, that should be an epic moment. I know a lot of fans are looking forward to it. A lot of the players, you heard them looking forward to it. But both teams now for Group C. I mean, it's still a long way to go, though. I mean, a lot of teams still have to secure their spots in the playoffs. So far, we have two teams, one from A and one from B coming in.
Might be a small factor.
We'll be moving on.
I mean, it might be a small factor, but you do have the teams really thinking about that. Like, actually
really
really badly want to play in this arena.
Yeah, everyone said it. They're always like, we want to get to Lanxess.
Yeah, I've heard more people talk about that than I have people saying, we want to get to like the next step in the prize pool or anything else like that. Like, people actually legitimately want to come and play
I think when that's looming ahead of you, that's what you look forward to. It's not even about the prize pool. I mean, obviously you want to win it, but at the same time, if you're going to make smaller goals, it's like, well, playing at that stadium would be one heck of a dream for sure for a lot of these players. If you want to support those players and your favorite teams, don't forget to buy the stickers with the player signatures in game. You have to show your support, of course. Part of those funds going to the players themselves and the team. So that should be fantastic if you want to show your support and you can't make it out to Germany this time around. Maybe you can next time. But we talked a little bit already. I mean, you guys had a long discussion about NaVi and Titan, especially Titan. What Titan are we expecting? Seems like there's going to be a lot of cogs to work through here for that team. Now, when it comes to the map veto then, as that's going to be the next process here for both teams, is there anything you're looking at specifically as a target from either team? Or do you think, well, it's hard to tell maybe for Titan or maybe even both teams at this point?
I think Titan bans Mirage.
I think any sane team on this planet bans Mirage versus NaVi.
Yeah,
like,
that's a safe pick.
We might have to go and like check, basically if like they go, yeah, we're gonna totally take Mirage. We're just gonna be like, pause.
Can we
please take this test real quick for cognitive ability? Like,
well, Moses, you tweeted at some point that NaVi must be, I think you said, happily confused that people keep picking Mirage against them. I think that was
it happens from time to time, and it's like they've got to just be over there grinning ear to ear when that happens. They're like, yes, another team that falls into our trap.
I mean, is it a trap anymore at that point?
Hey, look at how cute Guardian is. He's just looking, sitting there, minding his own business, looking harmless, and then you get him in Mirage, and he turns into, a one-ton beast.
Yeah, I've never been able to figure out how to phrase this in my mind without making it sound wrong. But when you look at Guardian, but when you look at Guardian, you don't think this is going to be like one of the most beastly players of all time. He looks very calm and very relaxed. So, yeah.
I was really scared for what we were going to say.
I really was
that was very tame compared to the disclaimer
if Thorin gave me that lead up, I would be like diving for the shelter, But Anders is actually kind of, it was nice.
It took a while to get it that way,
I appreciate that you spent the time there, Anders, before coming to us. You guys have been talking about Guardians nonstop. I mean, coming forward, obviously the talk about being the best opper or potentially the best opper for some people on this desk right now is CSGO. I know you want to interject.
Don't bring us back there. Don't bring us back there.
I mean, we can talk more about that maybe later. But I mean, what else do you think is Titan? Is there at that point? Do you worry about anything else from NaVi as a team, or are you like is that just so big of a threat?
I mean, that's the big one. That's the obvious one. I think the big thing about NaVi for me is they were a team that I never really had a lot of faith in them, and then Flamey joins this team because they were always that really slow-paced team. They're really easy to read because they were going to run the clock down. Now Flamey comes in, and he's a huge fragger for them, and his presence has helped speed them up at times, so they can throw the slow strats at you, and they can also come back with a fast strat the next round and really change the pace on you a lot, and I think that's helped them kind of reach this next level.
So, I mean, the difficult thing about watching Flamey play is you have to play like fairly close attention. You actually almost have to follow him throughout the round and don't spot anyone else, because otherwise what happens is you go through the camera rotation and at some point you go back to Flamey and he's in a position where he's suddenly like able to get 2 very easy kills, and you think, well, you know, first time you see it, that was kind of lucky. He just got 2 people in the back. Then it happens again and again and again. You realize it's not lucky. It's because he keeps actually playing a very, very smart positional game, and that's very hard to counter. That's very hard to deal with. Having a player like that, he just manages to sneak into weird positions, and that's very impressive. But I do want to highlight Zeus as well. Apart from really good calling, Zeus has recently had a bunch of games where he's top fragging for what seems to be no reason at all, because they've got Flamey, they've got Guardian, they've got a bunch of other people. Edward has been playing super well, but Zeus seems to be on the top of the scoreboard a lot more than he should be, considering the rest of the team. I don't know where that comes from, but it's impressive.
Yeah, well, and then on the other side, of course, we talked a lot about Shoxy, how he has to perform, and he may be feeling that motivation, whether positively or negatively himself. But aside from that, is the rest still, again, I mean, like you guys mentioned, is it up to speculation on, all right, so then where do all the other pieces fall? Or do you think certain parts of Titan you can expect, oh, actually, we'll find out as we go into the game. Looks
no
like
surprise
the
to see
are
Cash.
ready.
No surprise to see Cash vetoed out by NaVi. That's a map that they don't want to play ever. So that works out just fine. I don't think Titan are going to be surprised by that.
No, they shouldn't be at all. Yeah, you're exactly right. I mean, that's a map that NaVi vetoes, just like anyone should veto Mirage against them. And I'm hoping, just crossing my fingers here.
Well, there's quite a bit of a discussion going on right now.
There it is.
They couldn't find it in the list. That's the only reason. Like, wait a minute. What's going on? All right.
There,
Confirm it.
I actually think Dust 2 would be a fun enough matchup between these two teams. I think that some action could.
It would be.
Could
Actually, you're right.
Yeah.
Because Shoxy, recent memory, I don't know. The last time he went God Beast mode, feels like it was on Dust 2, actually.
I would be a little bit worried for Titan if we end up playing Overpass or Cobblestone. I think those are going to be tough games for them as well.
They still haven't confirmed it.
No, they still haven't. They're just making you sweat.
Yeah, they're just looming over that.
They've
They've hovered over the button a couple of times.
They're making us all sweat at this point. Like, Titan, please. We know that you guys, have trouble getting out of groups and all that, but stop making it even more difficult on yourself. Just ban Mirage.
All right, look,
self-inflicted handicap.
Serious. I know you got really on your team, but
they're French people. Maybe they've gone on strike in the meantime. They're waiting for me to.
That's it. It's like our demands have not been met.
Yeah.
Cursor goes off again.
Wait.
Really? Well, that's not.
This is why you never travel in France. It's a lovely country. You just can never get to it. Everything's on strike all the time.
Suddenly there are tractors in the middle of the road. The farmers, they don't want to deliver anything anymore.
It was pretty funny. Last year we went for my birthday to France, right? And we're like, yeah, vacation. And then it was like, oh yeah, you can't actually fly there right now because the air controller on strike. It's like, great. Oh, wow. I love going to vacation. I'll go to vacation in France. Like, that's awesome.
Well, it does look like we have a slight difficulty with the Titan side of things, so we'll be sorting that out real quick here before jumping with the rest of that veto. But I'm assuming they're pretty set on vetoing.
Yeah, I think they're going to go for Mirage.
There's an outside chance.
What do you guys think? I think Cobblestone and Overpass are going to be 2 tough games for Titan as well. NaVi, I think, are one of the more creative teams on Overpass, or at least used to be. I think they still pull out some pretty good stats on that one. And Cobblestone, I mean, we've seen what they can do there as well.
I think Cloud9 are still having nightmares about Overpass.
Yeah.
Against NaVi. So I don't think you want to play NaVi on Overpass necessarily. No. Especially not if you're Titan, where Cloud9 I think right now are superior to Titan. So yeah. Where do you take the fight? Inferno? No, you don't do Inferno.
No.
That's the thing. That's why I think NaVi's going to be.
Okay, hold on.
They committed to it. Yes.
They got rid of Mirage.
I actually don't know what maps are left. I think Dust 2 is like the best bet.
Oh, wait, NaVi took out Dust 2.
And
it's going to be Overpass. Wow, okay then.
It makes so much sense for NaVi to pick Dust 2, because I think that's actually the only map out of what was left that would have made sense. I think Cash and Dust 2 were the only maps that Titan could have got that would have been really solid, like home maps for them.
Well, that's the thing. We even saw Fnatic veto Dust 2, because it is a little bit of that pug map, so it's not like you've played that map so much, you don't need nearly as much preparation as some of the others, so NaVi just not even risking it with his new lineup.
Yeah, and I mean, you guys were mentioning Overpass earlier just briefly. Moses, what's your take on Overpass? Do you agree that it's going to be a little bit scary playing against NaVi?
Absolutely. Titan? Yeah, NaVi is going to be, they can do some damage on this map. They're going to be heavy hitters.
Yeah, NaVi are a top tier right now. Any team going up against NaVi right now have to be thinking, okay, strap ourselves in because it's going to be a bit of a ride.
There is one thing I'm wondering if NaVi have adapted to. A bunch of teams now are not very heavy on controlling A long on the CT side. And NaVi used to have Guardian just play there all the time in very much the same spot pretty much every game. So I'm wondering if they will have shied away from that. NaVi, a lot of other teams now stay around toilets instead of that long area. So,
all right. No, that's true. He favors going for the boost off a jump as well, Guardian. He likes to get up on that little nook and just land a shot, back off.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, okay, it's going to be very tough. I think this is going to be a very tough battle here for Titan.
All right, well, we'll see if Titan is prepared. Of course, I mean, they did make their choices over on the veto section. So now on Overpass, it will be NaVi versus Titan as match number 2 of Group C.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome. I am Lee D-Man Smith, and I'm joined by Fifth Lauren, who's been here all day, frankly. But this is my first time back on. So, NaVi Titan on Overpass. Now, immediately as soon as we saw it, straight away, NaVi have played 20 matches on this offline, and they have a really good record. 14 wins, 6 losses. This is a big match for NaVi.
Yeah, for sure. And then you look at Titan with the 2 new players that they have. Overpass is probably one of the maps that they probably did not want to play. But who knows? I mean, when you have a new team, people decide differently, right? So if you, back when Nuke was around, when you had a new Danish team, right? They would always go for Nuke. When you have a new Swedish team, they might go for Inferno first. Maybe Titan just were like, okay, well, everyone knows how to play the center maps. Let's just try and focus on the new maps first, like Overpass, make sure that we can play that well. And in reality, if they want to do well this tournament, they need to have 6 maps in the bag. And since they never vetoed Overpass, leads me to believe that at least they probably went through a bunch of stuff on this map.
Well, 6 maps is what you were talking about with NaVi earlier on, how it screwed them over, what, 2 years ago? A year ago, I should say, sorry.
Yeah.
It's not been that long since you played last.
I mean, it feels like it. I feel old.
Feel old, mate. You're sat next to me here.
Okay.
You feel old.
I feel less old now. It's a good thing that most isn't here, because then it would just be done for.
But let's talk about Zeus on your screen there. He did a vlog recently, a very open and honest vlog, actually, which I found quite refreshing and somewhat unusual for a player coming into a major like this. He talked about how well he thought NIP were doing, and actually Luminosity, who we've seen have their own moments throughout the tournament, but also how their boot camp's gone. Now, they had a 10-day boot camp together, but he was saying, like, tempers were flaring at times, and they had to take a break away from each other. Now, this is... Obviously, you guys would have boot camps many times over the years. This is a regular type of thing? I mean, obviously, 5 guys together in a house for 10 days, things are going to happen.
Yeah, it takes a lot on you when you actually boot camp with the team. Back at DreamHack Winter, coming into the first major, we boot camp for 3 weeks, and believe me, like, people went under each other's skin. Right? Everything you do is like, ooh, you're just boiling, basically.
Yeah.
10 days is a little bit too much. I would say if you want to do a boot camp, then maximum 5 days, like no more, no less, or no more at least, because then, like you're saying, you're just gonna get very annoyed with one another.
Well, Maniac on your screen there, obviously, with his 2 new teammates. We are live, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go. It is ESL One Cologne qualifiers. We are into Group C. Fnatic await the winner of NaVi versus Titan. Who will join them? Pistols underway.
A very weird buy from NaVi, having the C-set and smoke on Zeus. Oh. That's a good way to start.
I mean, that's how you want to start at a major. The first bullet is a straight headshot. Guardian, who, well, is a very key man for NaVi. Probably, we were arguably, discussing the top AWPers of the world, and actually a lot of people put Guardian right up there at the top.
I mean, yeah, I would rank him the best AWPer in the world, by far, being so solid and not really that aggressive, but whenever he does get into position, he's so stable, hardly ever misses shots, and having a player like that on your team, that's how you win games.
Zeus getting all the information he needed there, getting a good glimpse on both Smith's and Maniac's head as they came around the corner. Going to try and go for the shots. Flamey, another man that is vital for NaVi recently, the youngest member of the team. Does manage to get himself the first, but RPK will reply, but Zeus comes in. The captain gets himself a quick, easy triple. Nice start for NaVi.
Yeah, very solid start from NaVi. The Guardian very aggressive in the bathrooms, getting that one shot, leading into a 5-on-4 situation. And he knew then, back then, because he had control over middle, that there was no one there, and then Zeus just jumping, saving that smoke for when they actually did decide to push. Overall, very good round from NaVi. And Titan, a very slow-paced round. I don't really like that on the T-side on Overpass. You want to go something fast, use the Glocks to your advantage, the Glock train, and make the best of it instead of just getting picked apart.
Look at the aggression from Edward and Guardian here. A lot of information being gathered, and more importantly, hunting down the players now existence. Wondering where his teammates just dropped. They did buy a scout, remember, early on, but that's already been dropped and lost. They're going to keep on pushing through. Shox does manage to get himself into B site. Gets himself the simple kill on Flamey, but Maniac now picked off, and that leaves existence with the bomb the in-game leader with a near impossible task. But they are all low hit points. He gets himself one. Now dashes back into the smoke. This is still possible. Guardian behind him on 1 health. Both Seized and Zeus. Zeus is the tough one. And remember, he has the bomb. He's got 55 seconds. He could go for the rotate because they've completely rotated to A site. Now they're questioning the decision. Now they're backing away.
You could actually time Garden here, getting 1 more kill, which is, I'm going to say it's somewhat of a decent eco, even though they 4-spot.
Oh, the timing. If he just looked a little... I think he made a step. Guardian didn't. Did Guardian hear him? He didn't.
Oh, he's very worried, though. Oh, look at the timing.
He's managed to sneak around. Now, Zeus might not be expecting someone to come from log now because he wouldn't have heard anything coming around the side there. Did he catch a glimpse of the shoulder? Oh, that would have given his position away.
I'm not quite sure why I did that. I mean, you don't have the HP anyway, so like trying to pre-fire like an area when you have 12 HP is not a good idea. But yeah, that could have been scary.
I mean, all you had to do, if he'd found Guardian there, that was an M4.
Yeah.
You could have picked an M4 up, just 1 hit point, quite easily turned in their favor. But NaVi, they went for the Force. I say Force, they generally go for these big, heavy rifle buys in round 2. This time it paid off. Could have been a little more scary for them, but of course that puts Titan in a tricky situation, having to go almost full eco here, just a few P250s in hand.
Yeah, not really much to say about Titan for this round. Technically for NaVi now, having the SMGs, you have 2 SMGs on NaVi side, Flamey and Seas. They should be the ones that's hunting this one round, because they're going to have to replace the weapons anyway next round.
M4 starting things off well, but he will manage to get dropped. Guardian goes down, but support is here in the form of Edward and Zeus. And the spray down is enough. Now, they did lose quite a few rifles there. Zeus can only get himself 1. Yeah, they're going to lose.
Well, 1 of them. Yeah, at least 1 they get picked up. But yeah, Guardian with the op though, and this is when the fun starts. And that's the thing about Titan now. I mean, yeah, you do have Smiths as the primary opper. They lost Kenny. Kenny obviously under the reins of existence, especially after the nerf on the op. Not really being, not really played that well. But Smiths and Kenny are obviously 2 complete different players and with different play styles. And I think that Smiths would actually benefit to have existence calling over Happy.
Zeus going fairly aggressive over on B. It's going to get a good glimpse around the tunnel, so didn't see anyone pushing forward, which means Guardian and Edward, who are holding positions on long over on A site, have all the information they need with those smokes down. Looks like RPK and Existence are going to try and boost themselves up. Looks like Existence on top, trying to get a little glimpse in towards restrooms, but unable to find Edward, who was holding steady. Guardian flashed out, forced back, away long A, and that gives Titan control of restrooms.
Yeah, again, very slow round from Titan, just taking their time, making sure that NaVi doesn't push them, which I think is a very smart thing to do, especially in the first weapon round. And, whoa, wow.
Well, that's the sort of entry you want. Shocks the lone lurker over on B site. Gets that pop straight on the head. Gets himself a second. B site carved wide open, but that's not where they're going. And instead it's going to be Edward and Guardian that gets challenged out in restrooms. Guardian does manage to get away with it, but he's got next to no health. And now Smith, who's just pushed through the smoke around the site. I think Guardian caught a glimpse of him. Doesn't manage to land the shot. And now Seized all alone for NaVi. Does switch out to an M4, but in this 3-on-1 situation, I don't think he's going to risk going for it.
No, he really shouldn't. Just save his weapon here. And this is what I was talking about before on the desk earlier with Shocks. When Shocks was under the lead, the lead of Existence, he was amazing. He was the best player in the world by far for a very long period of time. He's back now in the same team. You see Existence, he's letting him do whatever he wants. He's the star player on this team. Saw there, he opened up the B bomb site completely by himself. Yeah, sure, they ended up going A, but just opening that up, he just caused NaVi to over-rotate, leaving Guardian by himself on the A bomb site, going down. So yeah, Shocks, if he keeps on playing like this, sure, it's only been 4 rounds so far, but if he keeps on with the way that he's been playing, with going very aggressive, trying to go for the picks, just leave him alone, let him do his thing, then yeah, Titan can be very dangerous.
Yeah, it's one of those things when they made the swaps around and everybody was obviously talking about the hype of Envy, and sure, they have already gone into the quarterfinals, so clearly it's working for them. A lot of people were also looking at Titan saying, actually, this benefits them, because their playstyle was so stuck playing around Kenny S. Now it actually loosens them up completely. And it's obviously with Maniac, he's gone full-time now. There's a lot of people in that team looking to make improvements, and this is definitely the tournament they're looking towards. That grenade will just go a little too early. Now, are Titan stacking anything up here? I can see them all clumped up around Monster. 3 of them all waiting, and Guardian's actually going looking.
No. Yeah, he should be getting the initial pick here.
Well, I mean, Navi have read this perfectly. They've got a 4-man stack on B site at the moment. Zeus Guardian, Flamey in there, in and around Toxic. That's going to be a perfect little pop flash round. Pillar gets himself in there, but flashed himself for that. Molly's going to force him in trouble. Guardian around the back. Oh, doesn't manage to land the shot. Does the second time of asking, and that's the bomb carrier. And now Shock's all alone. And he's over in connector, completely away from that bomb. Smoke goes down. That's actually going to work in favor of Shocks if he wants to push on for the bomb. Guardian and Edward waiting for any little sound. Trying to creep on through. He's going to try and re-smoke it. Force the shots out. You hear the AWP shot from Guardian the second it goes through. He knows this is tricky. There's a 33 seconds on the clock now. Money-wise, Titan are not exactly great, so I wouldn't be too upset if he tries to just hang on to that weapon, but Guardian does get himself a second. And that was well read by Navi. They had a 4-man stack on B site. They knew that was coming.
Yeah, and I actually didn't really like that play from Titan. They obviously they had a 4-man guy or 4 guys towards the B bomb site, and Shox is trying to lurk in the mid area. But the Molotov that Titan threw in the corner there, where you saw, I believe it was Zeus just holding, that came way too late. So he even managed to get that one initial frag first. Yeah, sure, he ended up going down after, but by then it was way too late. Having the Molotov there first, just making sure that Navi falls back so they actually managed to get the site, even if they were sacked, would have at least given them more of a chance to at least get the bomb down.
Edward's going to get challenged. It's going to be Smiths that will push on round, but Long A is very much in the hands of Navi with Guardian in support. RPK gets a little peek around. He really wants to collect that rifle, and he will manage to pick it up, but Seas, meanwhile, over in restrooms will get caught out. That's given Existence a little weird moment to get in there, but Edward, luckily, on the rotate, does get back around, and this is going to be a simple round for Navi in the end. Now RPK just with it all to do. Starting off, looking at Navi, looking pretty steady. Zeus, the in-game leader, starting off very well. 10 kills already for him, so he's going to be happy with the way things are going for his team.
Yeah, and Titan with that force buy, I don't really agree with it. Navi, they do have the money. They don't really have to force buy from Titan. Now they're forced on a full save instead. And that was one particular round as well. They just spread out. They died one by one, and they really got nothing for it. So when you do a force round, a force buy, and you have the smokes, and you have a very weird buy, you want to go together. You want to try something. It doesn't have to be fast, but go together and try to at least get the bomb down so you get something out of the force buy.
Well, Seized finding himself a quick early one there. It is just pistols for Titan, so not expecting a great deal from them. Titan just holding on restrooms, unable really to break through, and Seized when he's with this SMG. This is the clever style we're seeing a lot of players do. Once they know there is an eco, they manage to farm up the cash, and it's a triple for Seized. Happy with that one. Not going to be able to pick any weapons up, but he doesn't care because he's just afforded himself a brand new M4.
Yeah, and again here for Titan, it's actually Navi actually asking for a pause, so I do believe we might have some...
Yeah, that's got to be a technical pause. There's no way they're going for a tactical pause at 6-1.
I mean, it might be next level here. It's like, okay, we're in the lead. Let's take the timeout.
Well, I mean, Navi are actually pretty renowned for their timeouts. It actually works very well for them on paper. It's interesting looking at this map. Obviously, a lot of sites out there have done a lot of stats. Flamey, one of the guys that are looked at towards how if he gets a certain rating, then basically Navi go on and absolutely run away with it. He's actually bottom of the board right now, but they're still looking very pretty. Maybe that's just a sign of Navi, you know, their increase in power over the last, 2-3 months. They've benefited very much from the likes of Fnatic and TSM having that little break. Navi have gone on to pick up tournament after tournament.
Yeah, and this is after... Flamey joined instead of Starix, and Starix obviously going into the more of a coaching role, and it really paid off for Navi. They were never really a massive threat when they had the other 5 players. When Starix was playing, they didn't really have a coach. They tried to have Stenya, but he's full-time with the casting now and streaming. But yeah, the addition of Flamey, they just got so much better, and they're definitely, I think, from Thorin's ranking, they're top 3, right?
Well, I mean, there's only one sophisticated ranking system out there.
Yeah, and
they are actually top 3 in that one as well.
Yeah,
so,
but I would still, if I were to make my own rating or ranking, I would still put them in as top 3.
You'd have to.
They've been so good.
They've been placing first, second, and third over the last sort of 4 or 5 tournaments. They've done really well. Everybody talked about how TSM had done. They've won like 4 out of the last 7 tournaments. But Navi themselves also benefit it a great deal. As it is, it's another slow one for Titan. We're already down to a minute on the clock, and this time they're going to be pushing. Now, Seized is a little out of position. Guardian Edward once again pushing aggressive down long. But Seized is the man they're going to put pressure on, but he manages to get himself the first and back away safely.
Yeah, and same thing here again for Titan. Very slow, and they're not really getting anything out of it. We do see here the frag from Existence.
Yeah, it was Edward caught out. He managed to cut across Restrooms, but again, the support there. Zeus and Guardian all pushing around Restrooms, but Maniac manages to find the head, and now he can back away. Shox has got himself into B site. If he can find Flamey and Pit, he can clear out the site while the rotate comes in, but Flamey playing this one very cautiously, awaiting Guardian to get in just ahead. There's a dink straight away into Shox, and now he's got to worry about the cover fire from above. Guardian smoked out, manages to show himself. Guardian will get the single shot, but Shox now all alone. Does finally get himself a good spray down onto Guardian and Flamey. Didn't see the up kick there, managed to spray it perfectly.
Oh, goodbye.
Oh, Kobe doesn't quite finish him off, and he's going to get the plant down. And that is going to give them much needed money. I think that's the first plant, actually, that Titan have managed to get through there. He's going to back away. You can see he's just on 5 health. Zeus, all the time in the world to play this one smart. He's got a defuse kit. He can just walk his way in there. Shox has got to play this one so smart. He's going to look around. Can't peek. Got a hook.
This is very bad for Navi.
This is good. Now the timing's actually in Shox's favor because Zeus has waited so long that he's got to go for the defuse. He's got to try and get away, and Shox plays that brilliantly. He will go down to the bomb, but it doesn't matter. That was such a brilliant 1v3 by Shox.
Yeah, and actually Zeus did try to fake defuse the bomb, but Shox was so far away he actually didn't even hear it. So yeah, it looked very smart from Shox. So it's just that since he never even heard the fake diffuse sound, he just assumed that Zeus was looking for him, which is why you never even saw him peek a single time. But great play from Shox, like 1 on 3, exactly what Titan needed.
Fantastic stuff. That is exactly what, like you say, Titan needed. It's the 3 kills from the man in question. Everyone's wondering how he's going to perform, how he's going to come in towards this major. On Existence, the in-game leader, maybe pulling the strings or not, has got himself in towards B with the first kill. In-game leader on in-game leader. And that gives NaVi a little worry because they had no information. They weren't deep on A this time around, so they've got no vision of where Titan are going. Tricky round for them so far. Flamey will manage to find Existence, though. Quickly pops through the door. And that forces Maniac now. With smoke in his favor, he could push on down towards A side, but it is going to be back towards B. You can see Shox and RPK ready and waiting. Maniac with the bomb, making their way in here. It's going to be all on Flamey and Edward to try and stop this attack. Can they make it work out for them? Flamey just going to get a peek around. He's going to find Shox quick and early. Smith's also spotted out, so now Flamey's position given away, but he's going to come out on top of this duel. Does manage to lose out in the end, but Smith's paid the price. A lot of hit points lost, and it will be clean-up duty for NaVi as 7-2 the score. What a Titan got to do here? They're just about working the cogs on NaVi's defenses. It seems like they've just about figured them out, but they can't quite break through.
Yeah, and you saw the same thing again for Titan there. They're leaning towards the B bomb site, but you shouldn't really do that. When you do get the entry, spread out first and just make sure that NaVi are staying at keeping them on their toes. But instead, they just end up going B. Very sloppy smoke from Shox. That does not benefit him at all. You saw Flamey just taking advantage of that, and then he ended up going down. Sure, Smiths, they had to, even though they won the previous round, they had 2 guys with Tech 9 still, so economy is very, very poor for the Titan.
Yeah, meanwhile, NaVi, who have lost a couple themselves, are pretty much farming kills right now. Edward with a triple. Can he make it 4 as he spots Shox in party? Goes aggressive, gets dinked up, will get finally taken down by Guardian of all people. Zeus coming through with an SMG. Going to finish it off with the USP. Won't quite get the cash. Shox actually starting to make it a little bit more costly, but NaVi will be happy with that one. A lot of money going their way. 8-2, good score for them, already building on the CT side here on Overpass.
Yeah, and again, for Titan, they have a choice here. Basing off the money that they have, they shouldn't really go for too much of a buy here. Yeah, for the people that had enough money, sure, you can buy a Tech 9, you can buy some flashes maybe, but no more than that. But then you see here instead, how much money do they have left after that? Okay, they can still buy the next round. So this buy is actually not too bad for Titan. Yeah, well, they're going to have to hope that Smiths can land something. They are 3-man stacking long A here. You can see Edward's going to be the first man to peek around, and that is the scout gone already. And now Guardian and Flamey backing him up. Trying to cover off. They know exactly where Shox is. Guardian's going to be careful that Flamey doesn't duck in front of him. But again, NaVi reading Titan like a book here. Managing to push on through. Edward gets himself a second.
They are managing to get it through restrooms, actually, because they'd stacked out long A so heavily. But Zeus is already back there. Edward gets a triple. And Zeus should protect against existence. That's Flamey cleaning up, and the last man for Titan will go down.
Yeah, and one thing to note, when you have a team like Titan and you're playing against a team like NaVi, that when you have Garden on that team, you want to make sure that you can't just let him do whatever he wants. You haven't seen a single op round from Titan yet. You won't see it this round either. So this is 12th round coming into under T side, and Garden is just, you know, he's locking down areas just by himself, and they can't do anything about it, which just forces them to either go B where Garden is not, or just try to make sure that you dodge him to your best of your abilities. I would love to see Smiths buy an op here, and at least just make sure that even if you end up dying, just so NaVi knows that, okay, well, they have an op now, so we have to actually play a little bit more defensively.
Yeah, I mean, economy-wise, it will start kicking in towards them, but they've been struggling so far. They have lost the last 3, so they will start getting a little boost in there. But look at Guardian and Zeus once again, going aggressive. Zeus with the cover, Guardian holding the tunnel, waiting for Shocks basically to come around, but he's not falling for it. He's going to regroup and join his team. Now Smith is going in a great position here. He's going to get around the side of Edward. Does manage to take the shot, looks it, and finds C's. And this is now the first time that Titan have got a great opening in A site. Shocks will cut off Zeus, and immediately Guardian is in no man's land. Flamey is going to try and go for the fast rotate. Did he just catch the heel of Smiths as he was looking around there? I don't think he did. Smiths, well, doesn't matter. RPK, the tank from CS Source Days, does manage to get himself one on the board. And that is very much an easy round. And that's actually NaVi almost overcommitting on B site there, with Guardian going across with Zeus.
Yeah, and again, it was... In reality, it was very lucky for Smiths. Just walking up towards the A long, there was no one there spotting, right? So, so NaVi took a massive gamble in not even trying to peek long, and they guessed right. The thing is, you will not have this much luck for the upcoming rounds, right? You need to actually have something solid for you to actually win rounds. So that one round, yeah, that was because of luck from Smith going up A, getting the two kills, and then getting the bomb down and ended up winning. This next round, for example, you won't see Garden go towards B again, probably. You will see him being stationed in A long, and you need an answer to that now.
Well, of course, economy-wise, they're looking good. Guardian had 10k, so he's going to be able to pass on the rifles to his teammates while he keeps hold of that orb at the end of the round. 9-3 the score so far. NaVi very much in control here on the CT side. It is a map that favors them. Out of 20 games played offline, they have picked up 14 wins with 6 losses. So you'd assume this is their map to win, and they are, of course, favourites coming into this one. They are the Legends. The question is, can they live up to it? It's going to be a triple stack going in towards B site. Can Zeus and Flamey keep them at bay? Maniac is going to join them in Shocks. This time, the Lone Wolf going towards A site. Okay, it's going to be a straight pop flash through. Question is, will it work out? There's Flamey, quick counter flash, that will catch out 3 of them. Second one from Pit will keep them at bay. Now he's got the support, he's going to rotate round, and that flash still perfectly working for them. Manages to load things up. Zeus gets himself a double, doesn't make it a triple as Existence quickly gets around, and now this is quickly turned on his head. Maniac all alone. Guardian and Edward, that grenade on point. Almost. It took 2 health. It was just at the back of his heels. He managed to get away with it. Of course, had head armor in there, but now he's in a really weird situation. Edward's actually coming around the back of Monster. Guardian's had to rotate back towards A site, but he can get around. As soon as that hears that bomb plant, Edward is going to push in. Oh, Maniac's not expecting Edward behind him. And that will be clean up.
Yeah,
So,
I really don't like that round that Titan's trying to pull off. They did the same thing when NaVi double stacked it, or four-man stacked it as well before. Just this one flash over towards the B bomb side, and that's it. That's all you have going for you. You're not going to win rounds like that, because you can just have the people stationed in B pool, and there's really not much you can do.
Edward with his head in his hand, I'm not sure whether he was looking bored there. He's at the top of the table, 16 kills, running away with it at the moment, doing a great job for his team, and pretty much everyone in NaVi is managing to pick up some pretty simple frags. 10-3 already, a very good CT side for NaVi. A lot of smokes going down from both sides this time, as B site once again looks to get worked by Titan. This time Smiths will win out the duel on Flamey at long 8. And it's been a while since they've been able to work that. Guardian is going to quickly answer as he gets a peek around. Oh, it's a quick headshot. And that will slow things down once again. Zeus and Seized combined means Zeist, apparently. But they are going to try and hold off, and This is the thing. They have been holding B site so successfully. Quick tag straight away, though. Will manage to get Flamey down. Zeus getting pressured in the corner. And Maniac with quick 2 kills. Realizes he has to back away. He's the bomb carrier. Needs to get the plant down. But this is another good round from Titan. They are finally going to get in. And it's B side again. They managed to carve open.
Yeah, same thing there again. Smith getting the entry on long. Onto Flamey, ends up going down, but then you already caused a rotate, leaving only 2 guys from the Navi side onto the B bomb site, and then Maniac with 2 great kills, just opening the bomb site completely. But yeah, the rounds that Titan has won is basically rounds where it's just individual skill showing. It's nothing really, nothing really tactical, which surprised me considering we're, its existence on the team. Right?
Well, that's what I was just about to mention. I just wonder. Obviously, the fact is you do only veto away 2 maps yourself. The opponent vetoes 2 away. Obviously, NaVi we're going to get rid of Cash, so that I knew that one's being taken away from Titan. I just wonder how much time they've had to work on their map pool. I mean, if you look at the offline qualifiers, they were very much shaky. They lost to eBettle, who've already just been swept aside by the likes of Fnatic. Now, that was a very close match. They were only together for, I think, 5 days before that offline qualifier. They did manage to scrape their way through against Dignitas in overtime. I think it was double overtime as well at the end of the day. So I just wonder, obviously, with that little boot camp they've had, just how much they can just gauge out of the new map pool with those 2 new players, because it's a big change with Kenny S. Obviously, that was the team. Everybody was working around Kenny S. The team had to work in that favor. As it is, it's already a quick 2 openers. Edward and Smith's trading back and forth. And this is given party control to Existence, with Smith's gone in a good look down long A. Still unable to get hold of an AWP so far throughout this T side in this final map.
Yeah.
Well, that's not going to work in Titan's favor. Now it's going to be a 4-on-3. Smith is going to push on through. Shox is going to work his way through, but Zeus is ready. And again, it's very much been straight one-on-one duels. There's not been any revenge frags, any trades back and forward. It's a very strange matchup, Titan that are trying here.
Yeah, I was just gonna mention that, the fact that they're just walking one by one, trying to get the duel instead of just trying to work together. Because in reality, when you end up falling down, you can at least have your friend base to come and at least get the revenge frag. But you haven't seen that for the whole game for Titan so far.
Nobody. Again, Maniac wasn't with Smith. Smith goes individually through the tunnel, and now the bomb dropped. Zeus got it covered off, throws himself a molly down. Maniac course out. Quick, clean, and easy. 11-4. Great CT half for NaVi. Exactly what they wanted coming into this Titan game. They said it themselves in the interview. This is going to be a tricky match. They're going to be very happy with their first match of the tournament starting this way.
Yeah, for sure. And especially, like you're saying, getting Overpass, which is, I'm sure they were super happy about that. But for Titan's part, sure, you never know. You were asking me before about how much time do they actually have in terms of like getting all the maps in order. And I can't remember when the offline qualifier was, but that was at least a month ago, right?
2 weeks ago, I think.
What was offline qualifier?
It wasn't that long ago.
Well, 2 weeks ago was it the week before Gamescom?
NA was week before Gamescom. EU was a week before that. So
okay, so 3 weeks.
3 weeks, yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, okay, 3 weeks, and then they probably had a boot camp going over the maps. I would say that they should at least have a general idea on six maps during the course of 3 weeks. But by the looks of it, I'm not sure if Titan just took a gamble here.
So this here is something interesting, but we noticed this obviously in the veto. Shox was the guy doing the veto with Existence stood behind him. Look right now, Existence and Shox are the 2 that are talking. Very much. So I wonder how, obviously, we talk about in-game leader. Generally, there is actually 2 people that will talk heavily in that team. It seems to be that way.
Yeah.
So Shox has come in and given a lot of information to them all. I mean, he's a very experienced player, obviously played alongside Existence for years and RBK. So these guys know each other well. So very much respected, I think, between the 2.
Yeah, and I mean, they go way back as well. This whole team with Existence and Shox. I don't know how many times Shox has left the team or Smith has left the team, and they come back. And so obviously these players know each other. So I'm fairly sure that Shox knows Existence tendencies on what he likes to do and stuff. But this was probably one of the things that Shox was mentioning before rejoining. Is like, well, okay, I'll come back to you guys, but you gotta let me have some say in what we're doing.
Yeah, I mean, you got to wonder obviously what went through them, because I know speaking to certainly Shox and Smith when we were here before, when Maniac obviously going full time, they were talking about how frustrated they were with the situation of how it developed, B, how motivated they were to prove everybody wrong. As you said, that was 3 weeks ago. So far, they've come up against very much a brick wall in the form of NaVi. They have to start off well here in the pistol. This time NaVi playing it, stacking over. But look at Titan. 3-man stack down long here. Existence, Smiths, and Shocks. Can they work out well like NaVi did? They were very successful in this exact same tactic, remember. Guardian on your screen got the very first pistol headshot, but this is not how they wanted it. Edward comes around the back, seized on cleanup duty, and that has just killed Titan dead. RPK and Maniac, the last two remaining in the 2-on-5. This is very much an impossible situation. They do manage to get the one down, but now Maniac has to pick up the ace. He starts off with 2. Can he continue it flowing? Gets a good glimpse across, but Edward, the tank, he's not missing. Raid Boss style, Tech 9 and armor, gets himself a triple. That's the problem. You know, if you're going to sit with a triple stack down long A, you've got to make sure Restrooms is covered off.
Exactly. I was just going to say the same. I mean, you don't want to do that, especially when you're not getting the payout straight from the beginning. Because you know, as soon as the Guardian saw 3 guys there, he's just going to call it. It's like, okay, 3 guys long. Edward with the Tech 9 and the armor just rushing into the bathrooms, just flanking. Overall, very sloppy play so far from Titan. And this is usually not... I mean... We know how Existence normally calls, and we know how he likes to play the game. This is like so far out of there that I don't know even what to say. Like, this is certainly not a team that I would say that I was guessing that Titan would be at this point in time.
Well, Titan have guessed this right. They're 4-man stacked B side, and that's where Guardian currently stands with the bomb with Zeus and C's nearby. Flamey over in party working his way in towards A. Smith's the lone man you can see jumping around over on A site. So Titan just have to hold the nerve right now. It's looking like Flamey Edward are going to work down connector and possibly come around. But as of yet, the problem is this, the longer Flamey and Edward don't see anyone, the more they're going to expect this stack in B site. I mean, at moments like this, when you're literally not seeing each other for the first, 50 seconds of the game, what is going on between the teams?
Well, you either think that they're just full saving and stacking one site, and then you want to make sure which site you're stacking, right? Now, if Smith actually ends up going down, I'm really hoping that Titan will just leave it and just keep on stacking anyway.
Oh, they're very well hidden, 2 of them in pit there, but Zeus manages to get a glimpse around the side, but not before Shots gets the kill on him. And that's quickly traded back by Seized. The Guardian tagged down to 6 health. The bomb plant will come in. No, it won't, because Maniac gets around the side. Gets himself onto the Galil. Not quite managed to get the spray down, but now this is still an awkward 3v3. Flamey going to come around the back. He's going to be the cavalry charge that they required. But RPK turns around, gets the triple, and the eco from Titan works out, stacking out the B side.
Yeah, and great stack by Titan. Taking a gamble, even though Smiths went down, they just kept their cool and just stayed in B. When Seized had a bomb, and when the first NaVi player went down on the B bomb site, Seized could have just as easily just fallen back, and they could have just rushed towards A instead, because they saw a bunch of people there. Instead, they opted to just take the fight anyway, because they knew that Flame was coming from behind. RPK, yeah, saved them.
Save the day. Now he's going to get challenged. Seized is actually going to push on through early, gets a little glimpse. Now, during the qualifiers, it was, I tell you, like it was Gamescom. We were seeing Nico constantly doing that and finding heads the second he came around the corner. I was a little worried for RPK as he hopping up and down trying to get that information. Now Restrooms and Long A being pushed by NaVi. Triple stack, Flamey Edward Guardian all coming down. Smith's ready and waiting. RPK does take down Seas meanwhile over on B site. Smiths and Shocks already stacked up, ready and waiting for this Long A push. This should be quick and easy for them as they get a glimpse on Guardian. Shocks flashed in, doesn't go aggressive, no reason to panic it. Now they do, double team it round the corner, spray down, doesn't quite work out, and actually both unusually missing their bullets, but Existence has got himself into a position to cover it off. Still, Smiths with very little health as Zeus and Edward try and challenge the positions. They do manage to get another, but that's now the bomb loose, and Edward just has to hope that the 1Ds land. RPK clean-up duty once again, 12-6, Titan. Are they on the comeback trail?
Maybe. I don't want to go too much into it, but you saw NaVi there. They 4 spot. They had, Deagles, armor. They had no nades. Why would you do that? At least make sure that when you do a 4 spy, you want to make sure that 2 of your guys at least have nades, or you just take lump together. But they had nothing. And then you can't really expect to win the win round, especially going towards the A bomb site where you need to smoke it off.
RPK is going to be the man that's challenged. Again, he's hopping up and checking wall while the whole of Navi push through. Maniac around Monster's going to get a little glimpse on towards Zeus there, but they're all going to come around the corner. RPK will get the spray down, and Maniac cleans up the rest. Simple hold from Titan there. Quick pistol rush. Failed.
Yeah, and Smith's only had a pistol so far, so I'm hoping he's going to buy an off now at least. Just to try and counter, yeah, because Navi, they won't have an off this round, but you know it's coming. Yeah, you saw. Okay, thank you.
Well, this is the first AWP Smith has had the entire game.
This is the first AWP that they've had anyone in Titan.
Yeah, this is okay. We'll see how Max uses it. Guardian was certainly working it well down at long 8, and it is going to be a bit of a party push, it seems, from Navi. They have got the AKs, remember, this time around. They have got a bit of utility. Not a great deal of flashes in their cause, so we'll see. This molly being lined up from Edward. That's actually going to be over towards long A, so they were questioning, they were expecting a long A stack here, and 4 members of Navi pushing that way. Now, Existence and Smiths will have realized this. They've backed away to get a little look around. But so far, Navi have managed to creep up unchallenged. I think they may even get a little boost peak here. But Smiths is going to be ready for it. So, smoke's going through. That's going to block off the cover, and that's going to buy time. Look at Navi. They're going to be 4-man stacked. They've got the flashes. They can try and pop flash rush through here. It's going to be a real challenge.
The smokes. Yeah, you have the smokes here as well, which Navi has from long. That's going to cover up A here, so they will potentially get the bomb down. Nothing really Smiths is going to be able to do unless he starts to peek it right now.
The counter flash actually came out there. They do manage to get around. He gets the initial peek. Smiths managing to get the first shot. Now Shocks with the spray down. Will get himself one, gets himself another. And now with the support of Existence, he'd already spotted out Seasoned Zeus. Shocks just simply cleaning them out. And Zeus going to try and back away and get a save with 20 seconds remaining. But they're going to pursue him down long A. There's no way he's going to win this foot race. Flash thrown from downtown by Existence as he tracks around the corner. Not quite on time, but it's going to be 12-8. And Titan once again pick up a round without losing a single person. But more importantly, impressive defensive hold there. Navi trying something different. That's the first time they've tried that 4-stack down A side, but they were a little slow with execution, which is not unusual to say with Navi.
Oh no, for sure not. Very, very slow team. But I gotta say, I gotta give props to Titan there. Great hold, and Shocks just going massive with the 3-kill, with the FAMAS, not going down, and the initial frag from Smiths as well. When he first peeked that long area, when they started smoking off, he saw all of them there, which is why Shocks was in such a great position to just make sure that they didn't rush him.
Well, Navi are forced up here. They got Tech-9s and just a little bit of armor spread across the team. Let's see if they can make anything work with it, because already triple stack from Titan on A's site. Looking to expect the same again. RPK still keeping the little hot peaks going on. You can see Shocks actually. Oh, okay, so he's down at B Sniper, so he was expecting a fast B hit, which would make sense. They are on just Tech-9s and still yet to see anyone. Now Smith gets a quick eye. I think it was Guardian he managed to catch a glimpse of, who's trying to snipe with a Tech-9. Not going to work out too well. Existence will get caught out, gets a spray down on one, but not the second. And they now need to cover off that Tech-9. That's going to get cut, smoked off. Flamey will be able to collect and recover that. And it is going to be an A hit. But how are they going to do it? They've got 3 smokes left.
Yeah, same scenario again, but they're going to have a few more people on the A short instead. But it will probably leave Smith completely smoked off.
Okay, so quick reply flash from Smith as he actually caught himself blinded there. That was less than ideal, but Shocks again. Perfect position, gets himself 1 and 2. Now Edward trying to creep in, get himself that bomb plant, but now the cover off around the side. Smith's actually taken down. Flamey gets himself a quick double. Edward gets another, and now Maniac all alone. This has gone from a very much in-control situation for Titan to a real tricky one. And now that defuse is going to draw the attention. Edward just got a little glimpse. Now he knows the positions. Sees Flamey around the side, knows Edward's the last challenge, but he's just got 19 health as Edward holds his nerve. But Maniac manages to nail the shot and will get the defuse. 12-9 Titan. Well, Maniac rescuing their blushes very much from that round because suddenly NaVi were in control from a 4v2 situation. Not really going the best for Titan, but still they got enough to back it up. You can see, and a couple of them well in towards 5 figures, so they're quite easy to buy up, and we're seeing an auto sniper from Maniac.
Yeah, and just based on that one round, it was such a roller coaster. Titan in the lead, NaVi ends up getting the bomb down, bringing it to a 2-on-1 situation, and then when you're in that situation for Edward, that round you should not. It's like basically unlosable at that point, but Maniac, he made it work.
Indeed he did. And currently, with the AWP now back in the hands of Guardian, let's see what he can do with this one. See if he can get the challenge down. He's looking towards Smiths, who was slowly creeping down long, and Guardian was set up perfectly for it. Oh, hello, Maniac with a stack over on B site.
I like that.
With that auto sniper, they have this covered off. That's actually a very passive defensive setup as well, but Zeus has found Shocks. Now that's not ideal from Connector. I don't think he's got the turret to spin around. We obviously saw Penta with their triple stack the other day.
Yeah.
He's not quite in the same position. He's a little bit further to the left on the other wall. But they still have this covered off, and they can rotate so quickly from this spot.
Yeah, and you can see our Titans have been playing very defensively on their seat side so far, but it's been working for them, so there's no point in changing.
It's going to be a quick push. It's going to be Guardian or Flamey coming round. Smith is in a little trouble here. He's going to back straight up and get RPK and Maniac to cover him up, but he's already been taken down before they could get in on sight. Now it's a 4-on-2, and that auto sniper is suddenly not such a clever buy. And now he's the last man taken down by Guardian, and NaVi just switch up the pace and quickly pile into A site, and Titan Court completely napping.
Yeah, they do have a lot of money still to buy with, which is good news. Smith's getting completely caught off guard there. Just after Existence went down, Existence actually decides to push into NaVi instead of just playing defensively, waiting for his backup. Instead, he's like, okay, well, you guys want to throw your smoke rounds? I'm just going to try and rush you. But there's no help there. Again, a very individual play there, because there's no way that Smiths can come and help you, and then all of a sudden you leave Smiths there alone with an AWP versus 4 NaVi members with AK. So
something that was mentioned earlier on was obviously the M4A4. We do see obviously Smiths and Shock still both running now, so it's very much down to player choice. I think we saw Tarek actually leaving a game to switch out to the A1 version earlier on as well in the tournament. Any preferences?
It all depends on where you're playing, I'd say. When you're a player that you play a bomb site yourself, you want the A4, because you're going to be in a lot of spray duels. But when you're playing Rotate, for example, the silencer is actually a lot better.
Yeah, I think it was Freiburg, wasn't it, earlier on the B site on Dust 2 that was keeping a hold of it. Obviously, like you say, need all the bullets you can when you're on your own there. This time around, it is going to be yet another A setup here. Existence and Smith will be challenged. Shox has actually rotated over to B site, so they've misread this one, Titan. They're out of position, but they are going aggressive, so they're going to find all the information they need, and that may actually push them through Connector. Yeah, Maniac and RPK are going to push straight through. They're going to get around the back of them. This is going to be perfect time, but Seized is ready and waiting. Gets himself one. Will he expect the second as RPK peeks around the corner? Yes, he will. No! He looked away just at the wrong moment. RPK gets the double in the back. Didn't expect Zeus to be collecting the bomb, though. Like you say, 10 seconds. This is NaVi running the clock down. They've left it too late. Shox on site. It's going to get cleared out. Can Zeus get in there? He has. Doesn't matter. They've managed to find RPK. He had just enough time to get that plant down. 14-9 NaVi. Now Titan in trouble. They've got no money. They're going to have to eco.
Yeah, this is all about a preference, really. If you want to play for the tie or if you want to play to win, Titan opting to play to win, which is a decision that most teams will do, because who wants to play for a tie?
Not you, it would appear.
No.
I mean, at the moment, that's kind of all they can do. I mean,
you either go for the win or you lose. There's no tie in this game.
There is no tie. Pretty sure you had a few overtimes in your time that which actually went in your favor.
Yeah, probably, yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty certain. And it's funny enough, actually, thinking obviously to NIP's loss earlier on today. I remember looking at your stats, not your particular stats. I'm not going to get down into Fifth Lauren's own history.
Negative
here,
Fifth Lauren.
I think it was 8 wins, 4 losses for NIP when you won that major in Cologne last year.
Yeah, we had the most losses, I think, over any team that's ever won a major.
So it's entirely possible. It's not all over if you just lose that first matchup. But as it stands, Titan are looking in trouble against NaVi here. Just pistols stacked out. Once again, 3-man on B site, trying to keep NaVi at bay, who've got just about everything in their arsenal that they need as they push on through. Their slow, steady play, 39 seconds still on the clock, has worked in their favor so far. C's not going to work down that one, but that's going to quicken up the pace over on A side. Guardian, Flamey, Zeus and Edward all awaiting the starter motor. They're going to be pushing on through, but there's going to be a 3-man stack for Titan. Smith's Existence and Shocks all in position as they push on through. A whole lot of smokes. That's going to work in the favor of all these 5-7s as Shocks pushes on through, gets himself the double. The rest of the team clean up, and that is the eco that Titan needed.
Yeah, great job by Titan, Smiths and Shoxy doing work. You see there, Navi's the kind of team, I really like the way that they do it. They keep on running the same strat until it doesn't work anymore. You've seen that there's the same smoke round again and again and again. Titan had no answer to it. Now this one round, you saw as soon as Maniac got that kill onto, I'm not sure who it was on the B-bomb side, everyone else rotated back to A. They were ready for it. So now here you see Navi switching it up a little bit.
Maniac's going to be challenged here. He's going to check around the corner. He's going to find himself a double. Nice and easy, quick and clean as Flamey and Guardian go down. And wasn't the bomb carry they needed, but a double entry is just about what you need at 14-10. Edward creeps his way around. RPK continues to get all the information he needs. And well, you talked about the tactic changing up. This is what they're doing, but it seems to me that Titan are very much ready. Shox is on the rotate. He's going to be in position to back them up. It's going to be a straight 3-on-3 on B side.
Yeah, and there's no way the Titan should end up losing this round. That's the thing when you play a team like NaVi, because they're so slow, right? It always keeps... that was close.
Very close, but it was only the wall, the concrete that C's found, and that buys time. It was RPK he was aiming at. And now we're just 40 seconds still on the clock. Maniac, little tag on the back of C's there. That's going to force them back down Monster. Now they're on the long rotate here. C's and Zeus all the way around. Are they just going to try and save?
Yeah, it looks like it.
Yeah.
But yeah, to continue my thought there, when you play a team like NaVi and they're so slow, right? Even if you have the entry, or even if you have it's a 5-on-3, when you're the CTs, you're basically just waiting, and it gets to you. You get stressed because you're like, oh wait, do you see anyone? Okay, you don't see anyone. Well, I don't see anyone either. Should I rotate? Should I not? And then obviously you saw Shox there actually over-rotate again towards A because he thought that they had left the B bomb site. So it could have ended up poorly.
I mean, economy-wise, obviously Titan just winning the last round. They don't want to throw away too many rifles here because they're not exactly the most wealthy. He'd certainly be able to afford themselves another set of rifles, mind you, but they will finally... Are they going to pick up an AWP? Are they going to go for an AWP? Are they going to pass one off to Smiths? It looks like they will.
Yeah, and like you're saying, it was a good choice from Titan, not actually pushing NaVi when they found out that they are actually saving. There's a lot of teams out there that still do that, even though they're not thinking about their own economy. It's one thing to think about the opponent's economy, but you want to make sure, especially in a situation like this, that you can keep on buying for the next round. Because if you can't buy and NaVi gets 15, then it's basically you lost the game. You want to make sure that once it's round 15, you can still buy the next round. And when you can do that, then yeah, you're allowed to push. You're allowed to try and chase.
As it stands, Titan again, like you say, sitting pretty passive in the defense. Guardian and Flamey are going to be the ones that creep up around A site. Guardian still with that AWP from the previous round. Smith's ready to pounce out. Now his Existence is going to pop flash him out here. Now he's got a molly in hand actually at the moment. Smith still. They back away. Guardian and Flamey, they had a good look, but they chose not to go for it. Now they only got one single flash and 2 smokes in their whole possession, so it has to be a well-orchestrated play here from NaVi, and it looks like it's going to be a B hit again. That's something they've tried a couple of times, but Maniac and RPK, and again, Shox is already rotating, so Titan have read this well.
Yeah, and it's taking slow because you see there, Smiths, he has control all of middle because NaVi they rotated back. They do have the 2 smokes. You'll probably see him smoke it off and 1 expo flash over. Or the way that they're doing it now, they're just walking out.
Follow Guardian as they creep through Monster. Look at them all coming round, all creepy crawly and sneak in through, but they're going straight into the headlines. And it's Shox that's just going to get the spray down, gets himself a triple. Maniac gets a double. And that is exactly what Titan wanted from that round. They had to worry about Guardian's AWP. It is now out of his hands, and NaVi forced to go to an eco. You would assume pushing this to a 14-13. This could go down the wire. We've already seen one overtime today.
Yeah.
Could we see another one?
Yeah, I mean, the way the Titans play right now, and as I was saying, right before the game started with Shocks playing under the reins of Existence. Obviously, he's the one that's doing work this whole game, right? He's the one that's been on point, and this is the old Shocks that hopefully we're going to end up seeing for the rest of the tournament as well. Him just going massive, and they could potentially end up at least bringing it to an overtime.
Well, an 11-4 half for CT side for NaVi. You would assume that they had it in control, but it turns out that it's very much not the case. Existence going a little greedy on that one.
He's been doing that the whole game. I'm actually quite astonished that he keeps on doing that. Even on their eco last time, he ended up pushing long, ended up dying there as well. I'm not quite sure why he's actually doing that when it's not really needed. It's a 5-on-2. Just let him come to you. You don't have to give them a weapon.
Maniac is in the perfect position here. Sees an Edward about to creep around the corner. Unless he looks away at the wrong time. Oh, he just managed to paint a picture of him as they ran around the corner. But Smith, well, he's in the great spot. And again, another spray down missing. Doesn't matter. Pop flash is there. Shocks surely will clean up here. It doesn't matter. Smiths will get it. And it will be a Titan round. But they lost 2. As you said, Existence going a little greedy, a little aggressive. Running into the Tech 9 of Edward. 14-13. NaVi are able to afford themselves all the rifles. No AWP, though, for them for Guardian.
Yeah, but you do see here, if you look at the amount of nades they have, they opted to buy 2 Molotovs. Obviously, all of them have smoke grenades as well. And by the looks of it, they are running towards the A-bomb site. So this is probably going to be one of the rounds that NaVi has where they smoke off the whole A-bomb site. They Molotov off the truck side, get the bomb down, and just play after plan.
So now Existence had to have heard something there. They started to go aggressive. Smith was all the way down long A and then immediately backed away. So they must have just heard the elephant footsteps of NaVi patrolling their way in towards Party. So that gives complete restroom control to NaVi, and now we'll see if they try. You talked about how they do try and try again. It looks like they're going for that long A strategy again.
Yeah, the difference now is they actually have the Molotovs to cover off the truck and stuff as well. So
Guardian got a little glimpse across there, and I think he was unseen. Smiths, you can see, hopping up and down. There's the flashbang, actually caught all 3 of them. Guardian going aggressive, getting a little peek around, got the backside of Existence, but wasn't able to land the shot. Smiths going down with a quick headshot. That is going to start things very much in their favor. Now, if they can get the full smoke control, which looks like they're going to be lining up for, it will cause them. But is this a fake? Zeus, Edward? No, they're going to push it.
Yeah.
30 seconds, they have to go for it. Shocks in position with Existence. RPK taken down already. Shocks is going to be so vital on this one. Existence has to get himself on. It's the bomb carrier he finds. 24 seconds on the clock. Shocks will go down. Bomb will plant. Maniac all alone. And very much an unwinnable situation coming from B side. So NaVi will make it match point here as they track down Maniac.
Ace.
And there it is.
Guardian with the ace.
Beautiful.
I mean, yeah, that round from Guardian, just walking up the A-long, getting kill after kill after kill. I don't even think that NaVi needed the smokes there. He just went complete mental.
I can see Fnatic just sat to the side awaiting their opponent and seemingly actually cheering on Guardian there. So they're happy that he managed to pick up the ace there. NaVi, can they close this one out in style? Of course, Titan, they had plenty of cash, so they're able to buy back up, but you can see, I would say if they lose this round, they're in trouble, but they're definitely in trouble because they mean to lose the game.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, you do see here Smith with an AWP, Guardian with an AWP. Will we see the first AWP battle of this whole game? But it's very, yeah, for Titan, you see here NaVi again, very, very slow and methodical, just making sure that Titan doesn't push. That's something you haven't seen from Titan, though, for their whole CT side. They haven't really been playing that aggressive. Been playing very defensively, holding the sites. Have had some issues on the A-bomb side, though. So chances are you will see Shocks probably rotate over towards the A-bomb site when the time runs low.
It was interesting, Flamey and Seas were all the way back in T-spawn, just awaiting. I think they were expecting someone from Titan to just go heavy rotate, maybe. Just catch them off guard. The bomb is still in T-spawn. Nobody's picked it up yet. Guardian's finally going to collect that. And it looks like a B hit will be coming. Now, Maniac and RPK have been relatively successful with the help of Shocks. Shocks has already come in this direction. And Existence, look how deep he's going. He's starting to look. Now he's starting to give all the calls.
Smith needs to rotate now. Smith, you should go. Thank you. Thank you.
He's going. He's going. The question is, will he be quick enough? Shocks backs away into pit. Maniac's alongside him. A wall of smoke goes down. Now Existence finds Zeus as he starts to back around. He's coming around the back side of them. He's going to have to try and push on through. He will go straight through. Manages to find himself one. Here's the bomb plant go down, but Guardian will manage to land the shot there. It's a 2-on-2. Shox finds another. Smith gets the last. And it's not over yet. 15-14. Titan pick up the round. Well read by Existence.
Yeah, and again, like when you have a team like NaVi, they're doing it so slow, right? Having Existence take a gamble, they're just pushing mid. When he doesn't see anyone, yeah, okay. And Smith had the cover from long the whole time. He was a little bit slow on the rotate, but it worked out for him anyway. But yeah, again, great play by Titan, read it perfectly. Existence with the flank as well. And will we see an overtime?
Will we see an overtime? That is the big question. Or will those boys in yellow, born to win, can they take it here and face Fnatic in the winner bracket, which will follow this game immediately afterwards?
Yeah, and 4 Molotovs from NaVi, all pushing towards the B-bomb site. Molotov round coming in, most likely from them. It's not gonna affect Titan too much though, because they are playing very defensively on this B-bomb site, so the Molotovs probably won't do that much work.
Yeah, this is something they've done throughout. They haven't really been up at Toxic. They haven't really challenged the Monster tunnel or anything. Normally you'd see a guy in between Connector and Monster just having a little peek around, but it's not working out for them. Smith's in Existence still very active over on A site, trying to gather the information, but here come the mollies, here come the smokes, all the counter flashes going through. Steez is going to push through Monster with the bomb site. You see them setting up RPK, the counter flash. A lot of mollies coming in his way. It's going to force him deep into pit. They are going to get the plant down. Steez is the man that's making the plant. Now, Maniac not able to get a glimpse on him, but this is going to be a full 5-on-5 retake. RPK finds the head of Flamey as he packs away. Sees spotted internal there. Maniac will manage to get him down. Existence going to come around. Is he going to check to the right of him? Doesn't matter. He will get taken down, but Shox in cleanup duty. They can see and have the site, but it's a 4-on-2. Zeus and Edward have to clear out. All they need to do is get the defuse. It doesn't matter. Shox pushes through. Zeus goes aggressive, and they will get the defuse. We're going to overtime, ladies and gentlemen. Titan recover on the CT side from what looked like an unwinnable situation after NaVi's great start.
Yeah, and very impressed by Titan's CT play. You see a completely different approach to their CT side compared to NaVi. NaVi was very aggressive, making sure that they do have the map control, getting the initial picks, and then just causing Titan not to be able to do anything. And then on the other side, you see Titan playing so defensively on their CT side, never push a single time, just making sure that they hold the sites on the B-bomb site. Again, even very defensively on the B-bomb site as well, not even going for peaks. And even there, I would say that NaVi had the massive advantage there when they got the bomb down 5-on-5. They had pretty decent positioning as well. But Titan, again, good retakes.
Very good retakes. And
Shox dropping 26. He's obviously on top of the scoreboard for the
Well, I mean, if you
game.
actually, the kill spread across the board is actually pretty even across.
Especially on the NaVi side.
Everyone, yeah, that's a sign of a team that's actually doing well. You don't want one guy that's setting us apart like miles ahead of them, which is all very well and good when you have a superstar to do that. But if everybody's on the same level, then yeah, everybody's raising their game. But as it stands, smiles from Titan, and why not? Because they've just come back from an 11-4 CT side and done the same themselves. And I think, if I remember rightly, NaVi actually won the pistol as well on the T side. So, yes, they did, of course, because Titan won the second with that crazy eco.
Yeah. And overall, I mean, they should be happy being down 11-4, and then obviously as a new team, and you know that NaVi is a really good Overpass team as well. Now it just comes to show then which team will figure the other team out first. I'm guessing for NaVi's part now, the one round that worked the best for them throughout the whole T side is obviously a smoke round.
Yeah.
Right. We'll probably see that again here. Probably the first round coming from NaVi. If Titan is aware of this now, they should just make sure that keep playing like the way you did, but make sure that if you end up buying an op on Smiths, he needs to be sure that he can get the initial pick, or at least a peek towards the long area.
See Skadoodle in the background watching on there. Virtus Pro off in the distance, set up, ready and waiting for their final matchup. But here, of course, Fnatic are awaiting.
What happened in the game, by the way? Who won?
I haven't actually seen yet. I don't know.
Yeah, same. It
was going on elsewhere. It's in the internet knows. We don't.
The internet knows.
We haven't been informed yet. But certainly a lot of you guys tuning in at home, thank you very much for joining us here on day one of the tournament. We're already shattering records, I think. Looking very good for the next 3 days, of course. Big matches tomorrow to see who was going to join the likes of Envious and, of course, TSM is the one I'm thinking of.
Yeah. And Cloud9 actually ended up winning their game versus Mouse Sports.
Cloud9, you got told, I didn't get told.
No, Assembler just came and he tried to do the...
he did the C9.
Yeah, he tried to say it without saying anything. It looked a little bit weird, but...
It's helpful with noise-cancelling headphones.
Yeah.
I really find it helpful when people talk to you like that. But here we go, ladies and gentlemen. We're in overtime. It is ESL One Cologne. And of course, this is for a position to face Fnatic in the winner bracket. Who's going to join them? NaVi or Titan, the new invigorated Titan, seemingly starting to perform here against NaVi, who on paper should be coming into this game clear favorites. Let's see what they can do.
Yeah, again, same setup that NaVi normally does. Take over long, have one guy in the underground, and SCII with a very defensive position. And then you also see, look at the bias, right? So they have 3 Molotovs sticking up the long, which is probably what I said as well. We will potentially see the A smoke round again. But Titan, not really changing anything up.
Shox is on the rotate. He's a long way away from this one. Existence is actually going to be the man. He's going to find Zeus around the corner. If he goes for a quick challenge, he will find him. And that could cause a problem. Now, Seized with the bomb is a long way away. It's looking to be a very well-worked fake, creeping their way into B site. Now, Flamey and Guardian are the only 2 still at long A. Seized still creeping his way towards Monster. Everybody from Titan has rotated away. Now Maniac's realizing the situation's like, hang on, nobody is looking at sight. They haven't pushed too heavily on this one. We should take a look. Flamey on the rotate. He's going to try and join Seized as they creep in towards there. This is going to be a foot race now. 20 seconds on the clock. Seized is going to get himself around there, but he's going to get clean. Now Flamey is with him. Maniac, I think he's realized it. Did he just catch a glimpse? He does see Flamey around Pella, does manage to get the spray down. Shox actually picks up the kill, but the bomb blank comes from Seized, but he's now in a 1-on-4. Gets himself 1, gets a little peek around Pella. Maniac with him. They're trying the shots through the smoke. The smoke's working in his favor, but it's a long time ticking. If he can get Shox down, it could work well, and he gets Maniac down. Now it's just 8 health remaining. He has to just delay this for Existence. He's going to stick it. He's sticking the defuse. Seized has to go for it. He's just going to stick it. He's not going to get around there. Oh, no. Seized. It could have been so valiant. Such a well-worked plan. He will get the kill, but it's the round for Titan.
Yeah, and you saw that the reason why he stuck it was because when Seized got the last frag there onto Maniac, he actually saw in the death cam, he's actually running away. And since you have the death cam on for so long, Exist could just keep on holding the defuse until Maniac didn't actually be able to spot him anymore. But then by then it was way too late anyway. So great round by Seized, actually trying to make that work for himself. But Existence being very smart, just sticking to the defuse.
Exact same situation for Shox as well, if you remember. But last time it was, I can't forget who it was from NaVi, but actually pulled off the defuse. So really well played to stick it. And we'll see, well, how did that affect NaVi? It was certainly a very well-worked play. As you said, they were going to try the same, tried and tested, and they were trying to fake it, and very almost did. Smith's up close. He's going to find Guardian if he pushes around. Well, 4 members push around. Existence is going to suddenly find a whole wall of bullets coming his way. Now, Smith has to delay them as long as possible. Shox on the rotate, gets in position. Smiths will get taken down. The smoke going to keep them at bay. The flashes come through. Shox not able to find the head of Flamey, and they have full control of sight. Still yet to get the bomb down as RPK creeps his way in. Seized now going to try and go for the plant. Is RPK going to risk it? Is he going to run around the corner? He will find Zeus. Now he knows that Seized is there and he finds him. Now he manages to spin around. RPK on fire as he gets himself a triple. Flamey with next to no health. 10 health points, but he manages to find RPK Maniac. The last man, he will manage to find him. He will get the defuse, and Titan take another round on the CT side. These rounds are very, very close, but that was just down to, again, individual talent from RPK managed to find those heads.
Yeah, I mean, what else is there to say? RPK obviously saving them the round and winning the round for them. He's allowed to be happy right now, because that again should not have been winnable. One thing for Titan now, again, you see that NaVi, they know that Titan are playing so defensively. They're just allowed to instantly rush up towards A bomb site with no one contesting them at all. This is why I like the change of pace here for Titan. Hopefully they will stick it a little bit longer here and just play a little bit more aggressive, so NaVi are forced to at least use a nade or two to actually take over mid control. But you will see him fall back now.
Seized hoping for a peek, but nobody looking. Guardian picking up an AWP this time. So we're going to see whether he can manage to get some picks, because it's been very much tactical moves from NaVi, just brute forcing their way into sight that's been opening things up. Flamey lines up the grenade. Shox is actually already rotated to A site, so this is well read by Titan to try and secure this one, thinking, are they going to go for A once again? Sees still yet to make a move on B side. Guardian does get the opener, gets Existence down and caught a little glimpse, I think, of the rifle of Smith's there. Took a shot for him, and he's going to move his way into long A. So again, another A hit coming from Navi.
Yeah, and you do see the gamble coming from Titan here, just leaving Maniac all by himself on the bomb site. He's also rotating back now.
Yeah, this is going to be a four-man setup from Titan. The question is, can they keep them at bay? Guardian gets himself a second, opening things up very much in their favor. Look how aggressive he's going, jumping up on boxes there. Flamey finds himself another. Smith's in around there. That grenade, he might just bounce back and catch him. Doesn't matter, switches to the pistol. And now Smith's all alone in a 1-on-3. Guardian already got himself a triple, but he won't manage to make another. And Smith gets a spray down. They can't do it again, surely. Flamey just going to find him around the side. Flamey will come to the recovery and does manage to get one on the T side for Na'Vi, making it 16-17 as we switch sides. And you see the sigh of relief from Zeus there, I think, as they realized they'd have been in desperate trouble if they didn't pick up that round.
Yeah, I mean, for the last few rounds from Titan, even making sure that it came into overtime, it's just really good individual play from the Titan players. Shox is playing amazing, RPK won him around there. You even had Maniac playing well in certain clutch situations. So and obviously almost Smith's winning that 1-on-3. So overall, like the Titan players seem to be a lot harder than the Navi players.
The kill spread from Navi is actually quite impressive. Just 2 kills between the entire team.
Yeah, that is actually quite insane.
24-22, very impressive stuff. Navi, of course, don't forget, did take it 11-4 on the CT side themselves, so have it in them to try and secure these 2 rounds, but it's been a while since we saw that. Now, Titan were pretty lackluster themselves on the T side, very much organized and very much going for one-on-one duels. That shouldn't work out against Navi in this CT setup.
No, for sure not. And one thing to note about Titan, I would love to see Smith picking up the op on the T side here. Just for the first round, he can leave it out later if he wants to, but just make sure, because Navi will probably push you again.
And you remember, that's something he didn't do at all. Yeah. He couldn't do, because he just didn't have the economy to get in there. So it is going to actually be an advantage, effectively, for Titan. Question is, will it work out for them? We just saw Guardian, how well it worked for him, getting those 2 openers. Carving open the A site. What goes through your mind in these situations? You've been in overtime many a time in your time. When you're, 2-1 down in overtime, obviously you need to reset the clock. It's been, 18 rounds since you last played CT side. You know, a lot of things have happened since then. You have had a great CT side. You've got to make sure you get that mentality back. Yeah,
and what happens within the team as well is that, you did play the CT side, but then the team gets more time to just think about, okay, what did they do on their CT side that worked out so well for them? What can we do to make sure that doesn't happen again? So that's why you have to switch it up in overtime. You have to actually do something differently to just make sure that they haven't read you like an open book and just ends up winning round after round.
Navi ready to go. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Second half of first overtime. Let's see if we can go any further, because we've already had a couple. Zeus going very aggressive with Flamey and Seized, actually, on the CT side. Getting a little glimpse around the corner there. You can see, actually, Boost coming out. Are they going to go? They've gone for the triple boost. No, I was going to say, Zeus, you're not going to go for it. Doesn't matter. It works out. Flamey finds Shox. Now that's all the information they need. They know that Shox is the lurker. We talked about this with Get Right earlier. You're saying if he's here, the rest of the team are over there. And that's exactly what they've done. Now, have they over-rotated? That's the question, because Titan have barely moved after that 1 frag.
Yeah, and it looks... Look at Titan. They're playing the exact same game that they did... when they were the T side first, and it's not going to work out for them. They need to try something new. Now it's a 4-on-5. They lost their best player on the server, and they're not going to have a good time this round.
Smoke's going down. Edward's going to get a little peek around there. Guardian finds Smiths. Well, that duel didn't work in its favor. And now just 3 members of Titan. And remember, this is MR3 10K. So teams will have enough cash after this one. Existence is going to get flashed through the smoke, but, well, there was no flash that came with it. He backed all the way through there. I think he was expecting it, but his team didn't really... Whether he just missed the flash, I didn't see whether they missed it or just didn't line it up. Doesn't matter. Maniac will get in and get the bomb down. No, they won't, because Zeus is lying in wait. That was actually a very solid Na'Vi round. They read that well. They knew that Shox was going to go around that tunnel. They remembered he was doing it every single time back in CT side.
Yeah, and again, we see the same kind of rounds that Titan did before. I would love for them to actually try and switch things up now. They don't seem to have the smoke rounds that normal teams do, especially not on the A-bomb side. They had like one smoke on the B-bomb side before, but the Molotov in the corner was very, very delayed. And you see the same thing again here. They're just spreading out. They can do this in the beginning of the round. They can play defensive, just make sure that NaVi doesn't push. But you need to have a plan. You need to have a game plan when the time is taken down, because just having individual skill will not save you in this game, especially versus a team like NaVi.
Well, Guardians chose to take the AWP over to Monster, so having a little look on B site, hoping that they could maybe find shocks early again. Not the case this time. Smiths is having a good push down long A, while Existence and RPK work their way towards restrooms. Edwards, the sole man with seized just at the back of sight. They have just a two-man defense, so Guardian really could do with making that move. Edward heard the footsteps of Smiths there, so rotate is going to come. Zeus is going to be the man that will join them. They haven't gone too heavy on this one. They can't, because look at B site. Look at the mini-map. They're all making their way towards it. It's going to be a monster push, it seems, and Flamey actually at pillar about to creep into position while Zeus goes on the hunt. Can he find Smith? They still haven't found him, but it doesn't matter. Flamey not getting sold the dummy here. Edward will eventually pick himself up on an Existence, and now the bomb carrier, Maniac, caught, pinned. Flamey's going to find him. Going to peek around the side. Seized, not going to come out on top, and now we're in a really strange 2-on-2 situation. Maniac at pillar, with Edward just actually in connector. Does manage to find him, now with 14 seconds on the clock. Smiths can't close out the round, and NaVi now find themselves in the lead, 18-17. Titan suddenly in that tricky situation once again. Can they take it to double overtime? They were in this position before. They can do it again.
Yeah, but yeah, you saw there again, NaVi. You had, yeah, they don't have any money. First of all, they have Tech-9s. They have a bunch of nades. They do have Molotovs. I'm really hoping that they have at least one round that they practice on. It looks to be a B split here, or a B smoke round. I'm really hoping that they at least use the Molotovs this time.
Something they haven't done is quicken up the pace. At no point have they decided to speed things up. It looks like they were trying to do it, but that was a great molly from Zeus, who just got a little glimpse over the corner as well in towards the tunnel. You see the grenades coming straight back at him, catching RPK and Smith, so they know what is coming, and NaVi are actually already rotating into position. The question is, will Titan decide to switch it up? Plenty of time, despite the fact they were spotted, and those smokes actually going down pretty early from NaVi, along with a hell of a lot of flashes, but they're going to go through. Existence going to flash himself through, gets caught out, blinded, does try and push through, but three of them in pit, ready and waiting. It is just a shooting gallery for NaVi. They are surely going to close this out. Maniac, the last man standing, with it all to do in a 1-on-3, and that smoke will almost certainly put the nail in the coffin. He's got to back around. Guardian's got this scoped up. As soon as Maniac comes around the corner, he's going to be straight into the crosshairs. Oh, Guardian, doesn't matter. Flamey will steal it. That's it, ladies and gentlemen. NaVi are going to go through 19-17. They will face Fnatic in the winner bracket.
Yeah, overall, very solid play from NaVi. Great CT side as per usual. Their T side, Titan did a very good job holding them back. For Titan's part, I was actually quite impressed the way that they were playing their T side as well. On their T side, though, that really needs work. They should really look into this coming into the next games that we'll have tomorrow, just to make sure, okay, they need some new ideas on that map if they decide to keep on playing it. But by the looks of it, that if you only have a good seed side and your T side is very lackluster, that won't win you games. You need to at least have an idea and the fundamentals to play T side on Overpass, and they really did not have that.
Well, they did manage to take it to overtime nonetheless against NaVi. Something a lot of people actually didn't think it was going to happen. They were expecting NaVi to come into this one much stronger. Titan to really not have the time to prepare. We've talked about obviously how they've had effectively a month together up to this tournament, which is a pretty short time overall, but it's enough time to get it working. So what are we expecting moving forward? NaVi taken to overtime, not the most confident. Obviously, we saw Fnatic sweep aside eBettle, but I don't think we can read too much into that one.
No, I think that the upcoming match will be obviously Fnatic versus NaVi, and that's going to be a good one. Yeah. You saw there, all of NaVi players seemed to be on point. The score was very, very even in terms of frag-wise, and Guardian obviously seems to be playing well as well. And then you have Fnatic. Yeah, they just stomped eBettle, but then this is a different kind of beast.
A different kind of beast. For NaVi, what are we thinking? What have they got to look at? And obviously, Fnatic were actually just sat almost on our desk watching that match there to figure things out. How are they going to approach this one? Because Fnatic NaVi, it's a match that's happened a bunch of times. I seem to think back to the DreamHack finals, of course, recently.
Yeah, no, I mean, in general, Fnatic's not going to play NaVi on Overpass anyway, so watching that game, I don't think it's going to give them too much information. But I'm sure our fabulous expert desk will have more to say about that.
We will see what they have to say. Joe Bros, over to you.
What?
Thank you.
Did you just call us?
Excuse me? Is that not an honor? Come on, man. The Joe Bros. I mean, Guardian doesn't have to be part of that. We're just you guys. But congratulations, of course. You guys are coming out as a winner after kind of a long match there. Perhaps a little bit longer than you expected. Obviously, in the beginning, you guys were kind of cleaning house, and then Titan really pulled through. At any point, were you guys worried that it was going to slip by? I mean, how did you kind of close out that game through overtime?
Yeah, we just had to play the same game as we played, but we had to kill them. And yeah, I mean, like first half, we made some mistakes. It could be like 12-3 or even 13-2, but we made some mistakes in like 5v4, 5v3. So yeah, that's usual for us. And the same happened on T side, where we were like 4v5 or 3v5, and they came to back us. So, I mean, we made so many mistakes like this, but they were playing good. And in overtime, I think we just fixed our CT problems, and yeah, we closed it up somehow.
Right on. No, I know similar. I mean, you've been talking a lot about Guardian as high stats coming in, but of course, adding one more here for this major, kind of a unique one. I mean, I believe we're pretty sure on that, right? Like the first player to get an ace here at the major. So
ace versus a fully bought up team.
There's
been a couple of eco.
Okay,
with an AK,
right?
With an AK as well. So Guardian, you got that little pin in your calf. See what I did there? So.
But that's going to feel pretty good to add to your trophies, of course. But, I mean, it's a long way to go, so we won't keep you long. Obviously, you guys want to go prepare for your winners match, but once again, congratulations. Moving on, bit of a tight match there against Titan, but you are eventually the winners, and a win is a win. So you guys will be in the winners match for Group C. Ladies and gentlemen, if you've missed anything so far, there's a lot to catch up on, so go over to theScore eSports, download the app at the iOS App Store or Google Play Store. There's a lot of features for you guys to check out. Several, of course, they've been putting up, and of course, the match results, too. They're updating all of that, so make sure to stay up to date here at ESL One Cologne. For us, we'll be back right after this with the remaining 2 winners matches of both Group C and D.